Ah, hello. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry for being late. Oh my goodness. All right. Mona, hello. Donna, hello. Stevie, hello. Tatiana, hello. Carolyn. Okay. So sorry for being late, ladies. Do I have everything on? Yeah. It's been quite a morning for me, quite a morning and evening. I have a flood or a leak in my house, and I could hear it. I could hear it in the walls. So I've had two different people here all morning since 8 o'clock. So for me, 3 hours under the house, looking, searching, and we're pretty sure we found it. We're pretty sure we found what it was, where it is. Can't fix it until tomorrow probably because it needs to dry. So basically, um, no water in your house. You know what that means? That means no water. It means no toilets, no showers, no. Anyway, it has been crazy. So I'm really, really sorry for showing up late. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to show up. Good morning, Kathy. I'm so glad to have you here. Lots of chaos going on for me this morning, that's for sure. All right. So anyway, I haven't had that happen in a while, but I'll tell you, it's been a few days of craziness and I've had to get really involved. It's really interesting because I don't just let those things happen. And then last night, I turned off the water because I could hear it. I didn't want it to flood. And then I have this recirculating pump to keep the water warm. And I didn't turn that off. I didn't know I was supposed to. So I come home after a few hours and I hear this horrible noise coming from the pump. So then it's like 9:30 at night and I'm texting people and asking, what do I do? So I learned a lot. I've learned a lot in these 2 days. Um, exactly, Carolyn, right? Um, yeah, it's been interesting, but that's how I look at it. I look at it like, all right, this is an opportunity to learn. And then ironically, let me see what time it is here. Um, Ironically, you know what I was just thinking before we started class? I thought to myself, stress, the word stress. And I realized something about stress. So I want to tell you, I want to go sit over there. Does anybody have anything to ask me or to comment on before I go there and we begin our practice? Um, yeah, it's really crazy. Yeah, so I am going to begin seated. Yeah, so I'm going to begin the practice seated today because energetically, where my nervous system has been today and yesterday has been more of a higher speed. So if I were a car, I've been going 100 miles an hour for the last few days. And when you know this about yourself, when you know that that's where you've been, then that's the opportunity for you to slow that down and to actually take control and to learn how to apply the brakes and to understand what the brakes are. And so I will begin the practice today in a chair seated, and you can begin in any position you want. It could be seated on the floor, it could be seated in a chair. And when we are in a seated position, we actually allow the oxygen to fully fill up the lungs. We allow the lungs to move and the chest cavity to move in all the ranges of motion. So it is nice to sometimes practice your pranayama or your breath work in a seated position. It's also really nice to be on the ground and to do that as well. So choosing whatever tools you need when you need them for what you need them for. So finding the right fit at the right time is really important. So yeah, so I learned a lot about plumbing and about being prepared and knowing things. So it's really important that you know your water heater, you know how to turn it off, you know if it's gas or electric, is it tankless? You listen for sounds in your walls, and if you see any moisture anywhere, be very curious very early. I have detected pinhole, what do you call them? Like they're called pinhole breaks, not fractures, acute fractures. They're called pinhole, where there's a pressure in a pipe that will break. So knowing all of that. And then how does this relate to bone health, you ask? I was realizing that the word stress is what we use when we want to make our bones stronger. And so when we understand this word stress is when there's a demand for more. If you can meet that demand and if it's not too much, then there will be a place of growth. And it's the same thing with our bones, or the same thing with our nervous system. When we challenge ourselves, or we are challenged by life, which happens to all of us, there's the opportunity for growth. And of course, there's also the opportunity for dysfunction or disease to come in if we do not learn how to manage that. So when it comes to bone health, there's the physical stress that we do in the practice. And that is when we demand more from our bones. We put more weight on them, we bend deeper, we pull on them, we push on them. There is the other parts, the biochemical or the metabolic aspect of bone health, and the mental emotional. And this is where the breath work comes in handy, and the meditation, and the management of whatever's happening in your life. So I like to think that the universe puts all of these hurdles in front of me, or these challenges in front of me. And so often when I am presented with something, my yoga practice, my ability to manage stress, my connection to the breath, my understanding that this is the moment, let me manage this moment right now, because this is the only thing I can manage. And let me not go to catastrophizing what can potentially happen. And so it really is my yoga practice that helps me get through everything, whether it's my own physical health or it's life situations. So I'd like to begin this practice today in a seated position, and I'd like to do breath. You come into whatever position you'd like. And I'd like to show you something about the seated position. When you have a chair behind you, if you move away and you let your pelvis be what goes back the most, so if you move one buttock at a time back and you try to let your pelvis go back, you could sit upright with a little support at the back of your body if you have an angled chair, without having the upper body supported. And then another really good thing to do is, if you have a block or a pillow handy, is to take the block or the pillow and to place it behind your heart. So not up really high. You want it right here, because this is the part of the spine that bends when the spine has to protect itself. So placing the block right behind your heart, right here, is a really nice way to help to support the head and the upper body. And so it could be a block if you have it. The flatter surface is kind of nice to press up against, or you could roll up towels into a roll, and you could try the horizontal direction or try the vertical, and see what's better for your body, for your spine, your posture, and your alignment. So I'm going to use the block right behind my heart. For some, actually a little lower gives them a little more support. So play with this part of your spine, supporting this part of your spine somewhere, whether it's down low or a little high. Support your spine if you're in a chair, and then bring your feet forward. Notice how this gives you a little bit more ability to hold yourself upright. We're going to do a breath today called the breath of peace. Sukha pranayama. It's an equal inhale and an equal exhale. And we all could use a little peace. And the breath can be a wonderful way to help you gain that. So bring yourself into a position where your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And then you either take the hands palm inside the palm, thumbs touching to create a circular pattern with your hands, or you could have your hands resting on your thighs. So you choose what you'd like. And then you're going to close your eyes. Wiggle your jaw back and forth, side to side. And then allow your lips to rest and to touch, keeping the mouth closed, beginning to direct your breath in and out of your nose. And right away, let your mind go down into your body, feeling your body breathe itself. Next, we're going to bring in counting and occupying your mind with counting, regulating your breath, evening out the breath on the inhale and the exhale. I'm going to count for 5 on the inhale, 5 on the exhale. So let's prepare, take a big breath to clear, take a big exhale. Begin, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue on your own counting and breathing. Keep your mind on counting. Take a few more breaths, following the breath, counting. And finishing up your last breath. Let your breath go back to your body. Let your body breathe itself. Notice and pay attention to where the breath is, where it moves in your chest, or if it moves all the way down to your belly, to your low back. Bring your awareness to your eyes. Gently allow your eyes to blink themselves open. And then notice what you notice in terms of the way you feel. Notice if you were able to elicit some level of relaxation. And that's a really great way to notice how effective or efficient you're becoming with managing your breath, which is managing the nervous system, which is managing many other body systems. And so the longer you practice, the more often you practice, you realize that this is your safety net, that the breath is the safety net for whatever is happening in your life, whenever you need to manage anything big or even anything little. And then on a more subtle layer, managing your breath is what helps to manage bone loss or bone remodeling. Because deep inside, what's happening needs to be in the zone for repairing and healing and bone building. That's the parasympathetic nervous system. And so we need to be in that zone to stimulate healing and rebuilding and regenerating in the body. So even if you don't have a big situation that you need to manage, or you don't feel that you're under a lot of stress, there is subconscious stress, there is stress from yesterday, from 10 years ago, from your grandmothers, that is in the background. And so when we take these moments out, there's more and more research proving the efficacy of concentration and of meditation. And the breath is the connector between the mind and the body. The breath is the connector to manage the energy of what's happening, to bring you to this present moment and to actually put you in the driver's seat. That is very, very powerful medicine. All right. I feel relaxed. What broken pipe? All right. So, if you can get a hold of a block, or if you can get hold of a rolled up blanket. So if you didn't have a block and you have a blanket that you could use as a prop, you could take your blanket and you could fold your blanket like this, and this would go behind your spine pretty low down, either towards the low back or towards the middle back. So you could do a blanket or a pillow behind your back, or if you do have access to a yoga block, get the yoga block and bring the yoga block behind your back so that you feel the support of the block. Your body is not touching the chair, your body is touching the block or the blanket, and that is helping to support you. So we're going to begin ourselves in this nice supported spinal position so we can actually stretch and strengthen the muscles of posture and alignment for the spine. So let's begin to warm up the body, starting right here, the cervical spine, the 7 bones of the neck. Try to get your head so it's right on coming off of your spine. Make sure it's not forward, make sure it's not tilted up, and make sure it's not tilted down. So right away, you press your head back. You may feel what that does deep inside to some of the muscles. This managing where your head is all day long is a challenge for the muscles of the upper back and neck area and for the spine. And so we want to keep ourselves in that nice postural alignment because that will keep minerals in the bones. And when you're out of alignment, your minerals leave the bones to lay down more surface area. So stack yourself, stack your joints. Bring your awareness to your spine, 26 fine porcelain teacups. Feel the weight of your pelvis, feel your tailbone, then your sacrum, 5 low back bones, 12 middle spine bones, and 7 in the neck. So bring your awareness to those 7 in the neck. chin parallel towards the ground. You're active here. You're not just hanging out casually. You're pushing your head back and you're lifting and lengthening your spine, and you feel muscular work somewhere. Elbows are underneath your shoulders, nice tall spine. Let's exhale. And then inhale, only let the head rotate to one side. Feel the stretching muscles. And then bring yourself back to center. Inhale the other direction, only the rotating neck. And then back to center. Close your eyes and do this. Inhale as far as your head will let you go. And exhale back to center. Inhaling in the other direction. And then back to center. One more each direction. And then bring yourself back to center, paying attention to sounds, to crunchiness, to what you feel, noticing what's happening in your neck. Bring your awareness to your neck. We're going to stretch the side of the neck. This will help with the nerves and the blood vessels that fuel your hands. So for any of you that get tingling or anything in your hands, sometimes there may be nerve impingement here at the cervical spine, or even here at the chest where some of those nerves actually branch off as well. Elbows are alongside right underneath your shoulders. We're going to open the lines of communication in the body for balance, for alignment. Let's take an exhale and then inhale. Push your ears straight up towards the sky, straight up to lengthen the side of your neck. Exhale back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Ear pushed up straight up towards the sky. Exhale back to center. Close your eyes. Inhale straight up. Exhale back to center. You may notice that you need to swallow. There's a compression of vessels in the head, so there's some lymphatic vessel pressure that's going to help to move the lymph in the throat and up in the nasal cavity. So I'm going to say that this actually has an immune system benefit as well, moving lymphatic fluids through your system. Inhaling, last one each side. Bring yourself back to center. Gently blink the eyes open. We're going to stretch the neck in flexion and extension. So this is typically held in a extension position, which is like a back bend. We're actually going to bring a forward fold into it, stretching the muscles that are up the back of the neck that help to hold the head on your body. And then pay attention when your eyes are closed. You may feel the stretching muscles all the way down right behind the shoulders. So let your teeth be together. You're also probably going to feel some of your jaw and your neck muscles stretch here as well. So keep your teeth together. Teeth are together. Chin begins parallel. Inhale. And then exhale. Let your chin go down towards your chest and push it towards your chest. So you're trying to touch your chest with the edge of your chin. And then inhale, teeth are together. Let your chin point up towards the sky. Close your eyes. Exhale, chin to chest. Pushing the chin back to the chest. Inhale, straight up towards the sky. One more each direction. Last few. And then bring yourself back to center, opening your eyes and noticing when you do that, if you do swallow extra and if it's thick, because the lymphatic system all throughout our body, part of the immune system, only moves The fluids only move through it through massage or through movement. And the lymphatic system is pretty shallow to the skin's edge. So gentle movement on the skin here, stretching tissue, can actually help to move the lymphatic fluids. And often when we get sick, we feel the lymphatic vessel, the nodes here swollen. So moving your neck like this, great for cervical health, great for upper body muscular health, great for neuromuscular, so the nerves that travel through the tissue. It's also good for the lymph system, and it helps to take tension out of your neck. So it could also honestly be good for those if you get tension headaches. So never underestimate how amazing and valuable it is to do these simple neck stretches. And they can be done often. So really learning those 6 movements of the spine, which is rotation either direction, side bending or lateral flexion either direction, and flexion and extension, and practicing those often. Okay, so let's take the block off to the side, bringing the block to the side. For today's practice, you'll need a chair, you'll need a block, a strap, and a blanket. And to begin the practice, if you are somebody that's 5'3" or shorter, or even I'm 5'5", but even sometimes it feels really nice to have a blanket under my feet. It just feels so like loving, like self-care to me. And this is an act of self-care. Yoga is a self-care practice. And then if you are taller than 5'8", sometimes supporting yourself by putting the blanket on the chair can be really nice. So that as we bring in the movements, we're actually really supporting our body and our joints to make it more efficient, more effective, and more comfortable. So bring yourself forward away from the back of the chair. Let your hands be down alongside your body, moving your body in whatever range of motion you have. So if you have shoulder issues, you may not be able to elevate your arms above shoulders or very high. Your movement may be a smaller movement. Whatever range of motion you have is great. Hands are down, reaching down, palms are facing forward slightly to the side. Exhale. Inhale, bring your hands up, let your gaze follow, looking up towards the sky. When you get up here, the fingers reach up towards the sky. You draw the ribs away from the pelvis. As you exhale, turn the hands out, turn the chin down towards the chest, stretch the back of the neck. Inhale. And exhale. Move your body in whatever way it will move. Inhale. Exhale. Now try to imagine you're up against a wall. Keep your hands pretty far back towards the side of your body. The whole time you move, noticing if there's any sticky parts. This is the shoulder blades gliding up and down the back. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Letting your head move up and down will help to give you a little bit more range of motion in the shoulders. Last one, you're going to come up and you're going to stay up here, reaching your hands long. Feel the stretch. Push your pelvis down, push your belly button to your spine, look up or look forward, reach your hands up, try to unbend the elbows if you can. Take one more breath. And then drop one hand down and bring one hand up and then switch. So you either have a straight arm here, or if you have shoulder issues, you could bend your arm reaching up with your elbow, doing what's possible for your body. Try to keep your head elevated, looking up or forward, not down, and keep your arms alongside your body as if there was a wall behind you and you were sliding your fingernails on that wall. And see if you could feel the shoulder blades moving up and down the back. See if you could feel the waist muscles moving. These are core muscles stretching. Maybe you even feel lymph moving through your body. Another area where we have a lot of lymphatic vessels is on the lateral chain right here, and especially underneath the armpits. So helping to move the lymph through the system, good for immune health. And the immune system is a large player in bone loss. Bring yourself back to center. Coming back to center, let's take the arms. Inhale to open, slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale to hug yourself. Inhale, let your gaze be up, bend your elbows, let your shoulder blades slide towards each other, and then hug yourself. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Come here, stay here, wherever you can. If you need to be down here, here, or up here. Lifting your chest, shoulder blades are the back of the body, pushing forward to lift your heart. Feel your lower ribs drawing away from your pelvis. Belly button can push back towards your spine if you feel anything in your low back. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out of that. Take your hands, move your hands. Move your wrists one way and then the other. Take your arms together, elbows and forearms. Try. Not everybody can get the elbows together. For some, there's a little bit challenge there. And move the wrists around in one direction and then in the other. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's grab the strap. So a strap or a blanket, again, whatever your shoulders will let you do. So if your shoulders don't let you do much, you could take your strap, do something where you move your body in a way, maybe taking your strap behind your body and moving your body in a way that you feel something stretch. And then if your shoulders are okay, take your strap as wide as you can. So hold it in front of you across your chest, your wingspan. Exhale. Inhale. Oh, actually, can't do that. Take your strap here and then move it away from you, maybe a little bit away from you. So take your strap in front of you. Yeah. Take your strap in front of you, go as wide as you can, arms are straight. Exhale, and then inhale, lift your arms up. Go slow here. Notice the nooks and crannies where the tightness is in your body, where your shoulders may have issues with movement or not. Bring yourself up, go slow and back. Keep your head lifted the whole time, reaching up. If you lift your heart forward, you'll get a little bit more access here, really stretching the armpits, the shoulder joint, the chest. There's a space, the brachial plexus, where nerves travel through in the chest that go down to the hands. So for those of you that have any kind of hand issues, tingling, numbness, anything like that, it may be that there's a lot of tightness here. So really stretching the chest can help with a lot of things. Come here and stay here like you're holding a sheet and the wind is coming and trying to blow you away. Push your belly button to your spine. Even feel your body weight rocking back towards the edges of your sits bones in your pelvis. Look forward, reach up and away, be very active here. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back up overhead, side to side, bending the elbow that goes down. Come up slowly, bend the elbow towards your body. Keep the strap behind your head when you do this, because you want to keep your chest open, making sure there's a support of the spine, some kind of back bend as you do this lateral stretch side to side. And then bring yourself back to center, bring yourself forward, take your hands off, move your hands. So grip strength is something we don't strengthen very often, but when you hold the strap like that, my hands are red, I don't know if you can see that, but when you hold the strap like that and you do this slow work with the strap, not only are we doing all this great stuff here, but we're actually also strengthening our hands, which is a really important thing, because grip strength has a relationship with osteoporosis and fractures. And so they use this as a determinant to see how weak are you becoming. So they determine our strength by what's going on with our hands. So let's keep our hands strong as well. So take your strap, get your strap like this, bring your strap here behind your head. So we're going to work on strengthening posture and alignment muscles. So this is for the upper spine, the upper back. This helps with alignment with posture for fall prevention and for trunk stability to maintain proper function of your trunk muscles. So stopping that breakdown that can happen in the body posturally as we age. Take your strap behind you. You're going to inhale to raise. Exhale, slide the shoulder blades towards each other and slide the edges of the shoulder blades down towards the top of your pelvis while you pull out on your strap. Inhale to rise and exhale to lower. Don't let the strap touch your head. Push it away from your head so you're pushing back. Shoulder blades move out to the side when you come up, and then they move towards each other and down towards your spine. So be in your shoulder blades right now. Let your shoulder blades slide away from the spine and then towards the spine and down towards the top edge of the spine. Stay here. Draw the tips of your shoulder blades down towards the top of your spine. Lift your heart. Pull out on your strap. Feel that burn in the muscles between the shoulder blades. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Take the strap off. Bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Let your hands go along for the ride. Forward, up, back, and down. And then one more. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's take the shoulders up towards the ears and drop. Up towards the ears and drop. One more time. Up towards the ears and drop. Pay attention to your body. Close your eyes. Notice what you notice. And blink your eyes open. Let's grab our block. So a block or a rolled up blanket. Let's do a little more work for some of the shoulder girdle muscles and this upper chest shoulder girdle area. Very important for fall prevention, for posture, for alignment, which is really some areas we have to focus on when it comes to bone health. It's not just about strengthening the bones. We also need to think about strengthening what supports our bone health. So you're going to take this block. You could try to put the block like this between your arms or like this between your arms, and it really depends on you, on what your ability is. You're going to bring your hands down. Inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale down so the elbows come towards the tummy. Inhale up. One more. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's take your hands forward. Hold on to the block pretty wide here. The thing about a block is that it's really great sizing. This is 4 inches, and then I don't know what the other sides are, but the long side, the medium side, and the narrow side. Different parts of our body, they actually are perfect alignment for whatever it is we're doing. So here we have the widest part. So this is the widest part, and this is pretty much shoulder girdle height. This is exactly like a nice alignment for the hands. So sit up nice and tall, wiggle yourself back and forth so you feel your tushy in the chair. Hands come forward, arms stay straight if you can. Now, when you bring your hands forward, the shoulder bone can be forward or back. My arms are staying straight. The only thing that I'm moving is my shoulders. And this is the shoulder blades gliding towards each other, strengthening those upper back muscles, keeping the arms straight, pushing my arms away, drawing my arms towards each other. Think about your shoulder blades at the back of the body, sliding towards each other. They call this shoulder flossing. The shoulder bone, the arm bone actually, is sliding forward and backward in the shoulder joint. Now, bring it back into the joint and bring your arms down for a rest. Bring your arms up. Draw your arms deep in the socket. So slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Keep your arms straight. Draw the block down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep your head forward. Only go into the place that it's your range of motion. Keep those shoulders deep in the socket. Squeeze the block. Stay up here, squeezing the block. Slide the shoulders deep in the sockets. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Arms straight if you can. Head pushed back on top of your spine. Belly pushed back towards your spine. One more breath. And then bring yourself out and down. Noticing that. Block on the ground. Bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. And then you're going to push, you're going to move yourself back. So you're going to use one buttock at a time to come back to the chair, one buttock at a time. So you feel the lower body touching the chair. And then you're going to bring your body to rest on the chair. Elbows underneath your shoulders, close your eyes, check in with how you're feeling, noticing what you're doing. A lot of work for the support of your upper body. Take one more breath. It's important when you practice that you are loving with yourself. So there may be some things you're not able to do, especially if you're exploring something you're not used to doing. And you may notice tightness, tension, weakness in parts of your body. So that gives you the opportunity then to work on flexibility, strength, and creating more space in your body, more range of motion in your joints. So look at it as, okay, great, now I know where I need to focus. Okay, let's move on. So take the blanket off to the side. When you bend forward in the chair, or when you bend forward anywhere, if you have, well, I'm going to say for everyone and anyone, regardless of whether or not you have osteoporosis, when you bend forward, it happens here at the hip joint. So can we come right forward away from the back of the chair? Can we focus and practice on forward movement where it's the hips? And if you spread your legs pretty wide and keep your head elevated here, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel hamstrings. You may feel glutes. You may feel that tension here in the hip. You'll feel the pressure coming to the front of the chair underneath the thighs. Put your hands on your thighs, elbows are up towards the sky. So you're like this, wide with your elbows up, because the hand position here, this position here, is going to actually help you keep that spine of yours nice and straight. So you come forward and up, forward and up. Let's do a little practice getting up like this. Take your hands, flip your hands in, walk your feet closer to your body. You're going to come forward, lift your tushy away from the chair a little bit, come back down. Forward, tushy comes up. And notice, is it even? Are you pushing left heel, right heel in? Are you putting weight equally on left foot, right foot? Left leg, right leg? Head is lifted. You're looking forward, spine is long, front of your spine is open, not collapsing, not inflection. Start unbending a little bit more. Try not to be too much about momentum, go slow. Is it a smooth movement through your joints, or do you go side to side? Lift your toes off the floor. Let it be very back body focused. And then bring yourself down. So practicing that deep loading in the hip and the knee and moving there can be a nice way to keep the hips strong and the knees. And these are two very important joints in the body. We start to realize that definitely later in life. Really important to keep the health of your knees and the health of your hips. And, you know, part of what I do is I feel that I am a coach for the future, because many of you are not there yet, or maybe you do have a little bit of issues in your joints. But that's what happens to a very large majority of the people, is the breakdown of the joints of the knees and the hips and the spine. And it's hard when you come to that place. So it's better to focus on prevention and staying strong in these areas so that you don't have that breakdown that comes into those joints. So let's get our props here. We're going to come into a bridge. We're going to use a nice alignment for the bridge. If you have a strap that has a loop, I'd like you to get your strap with a loop. You're going to put it about shoulder distance. And if you try that, you'll feel that you're able to really activate the shoulder girdle. You could also hold your strap like this if you don't have the ability to loop it. So the strap is going to go on the hands like this when we come to a chair posture. Take your block between your legs and then come to the very edge of your chair. Walk your feet back, lift your toes off. Hands are forward. Start to push out on the strap. The hands are going to go up here, pushing on the strap. Let's bring yourself forward. Bring yourself forward. And then just lift your tushy off the chair. Bring your hands up. Push out on the strap. Push your knees back. Bend your hips a little deeper. Lift your arms up. Chair posture. Keep your toes off the ground. Keep working in this. Try to get the low belly towards the top thighs, the weight back in the heels, pressing out on the strap, straight arms, fingers are reaching long, tailbone down towards the ground. Take one more breath. And then unbend your legs, come all the way up. Take the block out. Take the strap. Let's clear our space here. Bending down to clear and move everything. So let me make sure that this is right. All right, so for this part of the practice, we are going to use a chair. And it could be that you use a wall as well, so you decide. Doing the standing part of the practice, it's a nice idea to be near a wall. So let's begin here. Bringing yourself into mountain, finding that stacked postural aligned position. Feet are in the ground. Come forward so you feel your toes grip. Go back so you feel your heels. And then go side to side and then come to center. So really calibrating yourself to be center. Slide the shoulder blades down, back, and towards each other. Hands are down alongside your body. Arms are straight. Push your hands down towards the ground. Activate your feet and be tall. Chin is moving back. Chin is parallel towards the ground. Slide your shoulder blades towards each other, down towards the spine. Activate your core to support you and lengthen your spine. Active, reaching down and lifting up. Create those two opposing forces in your body. Take one more breath. From here, let's move to the tree. Move on to one foot. Bend your knee, knee out to the side. Bring the foot up in between the ankle and the knee. Reaching down with your foot, down with your hands, and lifting up with your spine, your heart, your head. And choose something to stare at. Find a focal point, an area of concentration. One more breath. Bring your knee forward and bring yourself down into the mountain. Realign yourself, get nice and tall. Bring yourself onto the other foot, bend the knee, knee out to the side, foot in between the ankle and the knee. Press down with your foot, down with your legs, down with your pelvis, up with your spine, up with your head, down with your hands. And find your focal point. Take one more breath. And then bring your knee back, bring yourself out, shake your feet. So we're going to come into the warrior three, which is a pretty challenging posture. We're going to use the chair for this, and you're going to bend in your hip joint to whatever degree you can. So we're going to need the chair, the back of the chair for this. Let's come to the back of the chair. Bring the chair away from you. And then take your hands on the chair. Walk your feet back. Walk your feet back. Walk your feet back. Chest is nice and tall. Doing a little half dog here to stretch your body, keeping your spine long. Bending at the hip joint. And then bend one knee at a time, stretching the back of the legs. This is called half dog. This is a forward fold, forward folding at your hip. You only go back as far as your hamstrings will let you. And if you feel a lot of tightness behind the tushy or the back of the legs, you need to have pretty bent knees here. But what you want is the front of your spine open. You want the bending in the body to be at the hip joint and not in the spine. Push both hands into the chair. You're not grabbing onto the chair. You're pushing down to activate the upper postural muscles to support the spine. Then you're going to bring yourself up, take your feet and walk your feet together and a little bit closer to the chair, but not too close. Bring your hands together so that they're shoulder distance. And then let's point the toes forward. We're going to come into the first warrior three. So take the left foot back, left toes are touching the ground. Push yourself back onto your hips so you already feel it. And then see if you can lift the back leg off the ground, the left leg off the ground. You're pushing onto your chair. You're keeping your head lifted. You're loading up that standing leg. Keep that lifted leg active. Toes are pointing down towards the ground. Lengthen, pull your ribs away from your pelvis, push your belly back to your spine. Feel the glute work here. Lots of glute and hip work in that standing leg. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself forward. Maybe it's the way you're used to doing this, or maybe not. Loading at the hip, feeling what feels appropriate for you. So you're away from the chair, quite a ways. You're gonna bring your body weight into that hip. Take your right foot back. We're gonna load up that left hip this time. Flex the right foot, lift the right foot to whatever degree is comfortable for you, keeping your body weight back in that standing leg. Strengthening that hip, the glutes, the low back. Front spine is open. Don't let your head hang. Active. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself forward. Bring yourself all the way up. Bring yourself back into the mountain Tadasana. Feeling what you're feeling here in your body. And then go ahead and release. I like to do the half moon posture here with the chair so that the arm can be supported with the chair, with the back of the chair, and really strengthening the hip now at the side of the hip joint. So let me just show you what I mean by this. The hand is going to be here, so there's a lot of nice support for the upper body, so it actually manages the balance a little bit more, so we could really be in that standing leg. Okay, so that's what we're going to come into. So of course, you go to where you can go to. Maybe for some of you, it may be that this is your half moon, where you hold on to your chair and you're up here lifting your leg up to the side, trying to bring your body forward, rolling in that hip joint and loading up the side of the hip joint. So you're going to do what's appropriate to you. You're going to have your toes facing the chair, and then be away from the chair a little bit so that when you bring your hand forward, you have the back of the chair there helping to support your arm. And then slide your leg back, activate your core, lift your leg here, and open your body forward, lifting your leg so it's the height of your body. Then taking your arm up towards the sky, flex the foot that's in the air and reach through that heel. So up towards the sky and away from you, lots of length. Roll in your hip joint, open your hip, open your chest. Make sure your weight is back towards that heel. You have weight in the foot, not just in the hand. Take one more breath. To come out, bend the leg, keep your head lifted. Bring yourself forward and bring yourself out. Go slow because you need the blood to calibrate in your blood vessels. And then bring yourself over to the side. Let's come to the other side. So you're going to keep yourself a little distance from the chair. The flexion comes at the hip joint. The front spine is nice and open. You bring your hand onto the chair. You bring your leg away from you. And then you start to lift your leg. And then you roll open in your hip. And then bring your arm up in the sky. Really opening up your hips forward. You may feel a stretch in that standing hip. Top leg is lifted, foot is flexed, reaching through the heel of the foot. Take one more breath. And then to come out, you bend the standing leg and you bring yourself up. Go slow. Bring yourself back to center. Let everything calibrate. Let's move on to the triangle. Take the chair, turn the chair to face you. So I find that doing postures with a chair sometimes either can help take the balance out of it or not make balance such a challenge so that we could work more on the strength aspect of the posture. So that's one really great thing. Or we can even get more rotational force up above when we're a little higher versus in a deeper hip flexion. So it's nice to shake it up and to do different things. And that's one of the beauties of yoga for osteoporosis is we come at the bones from so many different angles. And the lines of force that are strengthened are the lines of force that you apply. So if you're coming at it this way, it's going to get stronger this way. That way, stronger that way. And so the more different angles we can come at the bones, the better. Let's take your legs really wide here. So be near a wall if you need, if you feel a little uncomfortable with that. Move around in your hips a little bit. Maybe a little circular action here. This can actually really stretch the hips, and with the spread legs, it gets into some nooks and crannies you may not usually be in. So it can feel pretty nice. Bring yourself back to center. Stand as tall as you can. Swivel on the heel so that the toes move under the chair and the back heel moves away. Take your shoulders forward, up, back, down, exhale. And as you inhale, reaching the armpit forward, keeping the front leg straight, pushing the hips to the side. And then you either bring your hands onto the top of the chair or the back of the top of the chair. Whatever's appropriate for you. You could be on your fingertips if you don't want to push down too much there. If you want to push away with the fingertips so that you lengthen your spine and rotate it forward. Tailbone down towards the back inner heel. Lengthen your spine, rotate your heart forward. Push your feet into the floor, draw that energy up into the pelvis, lengthen your spine, rotate your trunk. Take one more breath. Keep your feet straight. Bring yourself back up slowly. Bring yourself back to center. And let's move the chair. Take your feet wide. Draw the toes up. The foot goes under the chair, back heel up and away. Take your shoulders forward. Take them up, take them back, take them down. Reach your hands down. Exhale. As you inhale, keep the front leg straight. Start to move your hips away, keeping the front leg straight. Really stretch that armpit. Take your hand either on top or at the back, whatever's appropriate for you. Push your legs down, lengthen your spine, rotate your spine forward. Deep breaths. Long spine. Take one more breath. You're going to push your feet into the ground to bring yourself back up. Bring yourself back. Shake your legs. So we're going to bring ourselves down onto the ground for one more posture and then for final rest. So move your props off to the side. Get your blanket. So bring yourself from here, bring yourself down onto the ground, all the way down. We're going to do one last posture, the bridge. So doing the bridge posture to strengthen the back of the body, the spine. Move your blanket off to the side. Slide your shoulder blades towards each other. Bend your arms. Lift your head up, lengthen your neck. Walk your feet back towards your pelvis. You're going to exhale, press the low back into the ground, squeeze the tushy, and slowly peel your spine up and away from the ground. Pressing your arms in, reaching your knees away. Lift your pelvis up and let your weight be up in the upper back area. Really bend the spine, open the front of your spine, stretch your belly, stretch your front body. Deep breaths. Take one more breath. And then slowly, one vertebra at a time. Bringing your blanket back under your head, drawing your knees into your chest. And then bringing yourself into your final rest. Legs are straight. Spread your legs, palms up towards the sky. Staying connected to your breath, letting your body settle. Gently begin to deepen your breath. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rolling your ankles and your wrists. And then bending your knees, drawing your knees into your chest, side to side. Coming onto your side. Take your hand onto the ground, pushing yourself up to a seated position. Bringing your hands to your chest. Press your heart to your hands to your heart. Lengthen your spine. Get nice and tall here in your body. We're going to close the practice with sound. The sound, keeping your mouth together. So close your mouth, take a big exhale. Inhale. Bowing in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you. All right. Well, I feel relaxed. I didn't think about my plumbing too much. I'm going to say that today I label my classes strong, stronger, and strongest. So I'm going to say that today's practice, if you do have that full range of motion in your joints, if you're able to keep your arms straight for a lot of what we did today, I'm going to say that that's in the strongest category, or it could be if you're really loading up your joints really straight or deeply bending when the bending was happening. And then, of course, there are different variations. We did do 9 postures, which seems to be what I often end up with. Not intentional, it just happens. So, oh, you're welcome. Yeah, Tatiana. I do love the chair. And all we could do with the chair. And when we use the chair, we actually get to go deeper And that's what I think is so amazing, is being able to go deeper and to work on strength in the joints, strength in the bones, strength in the muscles. So with the chair, we don't have the precariousness of balance. And so we really could strengthen the hips and the back and the areas that are super important. Um, you're welcome. Yeah, good luck. I know. Anyway, whatever. Que sera, sera. I thought to myself, I should just go live in a tent. Then I won't have pipes to worry about. Yeah, seriously. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you feel okay with today's practice. Lots of hip joint stimulation today and lower spine. So today was a DEXA scan practice, all the areas that the DEXA scan looks at. All right, have a beautiful day.